Have you ever scrolled through Instagram at night and suddenly feel like everyone's buying houses, starting businesses, or flying to Bali, while you're just sitting there with cold pasta wondering what you're doing wrong? That feeling isn't random, it's designed. The algorithm literally profits when you feel inadequate, when you feel broke, behind, or not enough. In this video, I'll show you 4 tricky ways how social platforms manipulate that feeling, and what you can do to break out of it. Because once you see how the system works, you can't unsee it. And that awareness could save your mental health and your wallet. Trick number 1, the highlight reel economy. The first thing to understand is that social media is basically a curated highlight reel, not reality. And yup, we all know this, but I don't think we really internalize what that means for our financial well-being. Nobody posts their failures, nobody's posting their rejections, nobody's posting their mundane Sunday afternoon where they're doing laundry and meal prepping chicken and rice for the week. What you see is the promotion, the new car, the vacation, the designer bag. What you don't see is everything that happened before and after that moment. Let's look at an example. Let's say you see someone you went to college with post about their brand new car. It looks amazing in the photo. Maybe it's a nice BMW or an Audi, and they're standing there with the keys, big smile on their face. Your immediate reaction is probably envy and a little bit of jealousy. But here's what that Instagram post doesn't show you. It doesn't show you that they put $0 down on that car. It doesn't show you that they're paying at 8% interest because their credit score isn't great. It doesn't show you that their monthly payment is $650 and their insurance is another $300 because they're under 30. It doesn't show you that they're actually leasing the car, which means in 3 years they have to give it back and they'll own nothing. Or maybe the post doesn't show that they got a nice bonus at work, but now they're house poor because they're spending every extra dollar on that car payment. The post shows success and achievement. But what your brain registers is, I'm falling behind everyone else. And this is the thing about social media. It triggers what psychologists call upward social comparison. We naturally compare ourselves to people who appear to be doing better than us, not worse. It's not aspirational or motivating to compare yourself to someone who's struggling more than you are. So we look up and we feel inadequate. Every single post you see is designed to make you feel something. And more often than not, that feeling is envy mixed with anxiety. That emotional cocktail is exactly what keeps you scrolling. Trick number 2, engagement equals envy. Which brings me to my second point. Social media platforms have figured out that engagement equals envy, and they're exploiting that to make money off your discomfort. Here's how it works. These platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, they all run on the same basic business model. They make money by showing you ads. The longer you stay on the platform, the more ads they can show you and the more money they make. Pretty simple. So how do they keep you on the platform? By showing you content that triggers an emotional response. And one of the strongest emotional triggers? Envy. Content that makes you feel like you're missing out, like everyone else is winning, like you need to do something or buy something to catch up. The algorithm doesn't care if that content makes you feel bad. In fact, it might actually prefer that you feel bad because negative emotions are often stronger than positive ones. They keep you engaged. They keep you scrolling to see more, to figure out what you're missing, to feel that weird mix of inspiration and inadequacy. You may have noticed that once you watch one day in the life of a millionaire video or one luxury apartment tour, suddenly your entire feed becomes nothing but that. It's not a coincidence. The algorithm learned that this type of content keeps you watching, even if, or maybe especially if, it makes you feel terrible about your own life. Every minute you spend on that platform is money in their pocket. Your discomfort is quite literally profitable. These companies have zero financial incentive to show you content that makes you feel content with your life. If you felt satisfied, you'd log off. And that's the last thing they want. Think about it this way. When was the last time you saw your feed organically show you posts about someone paying off debt, or being happy with their modest lifestyle, or just living a normal, peaceful life? You don't. Because that content doesn't generate engagement. It doesn't make you feel anything strong enough to like, comment, share, or keep watching. Trick number 3. Fake wealth, real influence. There's an entire industry that's been built around helping people fake wealth on social media. And the reason this industry exists is because looking successful has become more valuable than actually being successful. You can rent a private jet for an hour just to take photos. You don't actually fly anywhere. You literally just sit in a parked plane and take pictures. You can rent luxury cars for a few hours for a photo shoot. There are Airbnb mansions that people rent just to film content in. There are even services that will Photoshop you into exotic locations, so it looks like you're traveling when you never left your hometown. And why does any of this exist? Because the influencer economy rewards appearances over substance. If you look rich on social media, brands will pay you. Followers will trust you. Opportunities will come to you. The appearance of success often matters more than actual success. But there's a dark side. People are going into real debt to maintain these fake images. They're buying clothes they can't afford, leasing cars that stretch their budget to the breaking point, booking trips on credit cards, all so they can post content that makes them look successful. Let me put this in perspective. Imagine two people. Person A has $100,000 saved in investment accounts, drives a reliable used car, lives in a modest apartment, and rarely posts on social media. Person B has $50,000 in credit card debt, leases a luxury car, lives in an expensive apartment they can barely afford, and posts constantly about their lifestyle. Who does the algorithm reward? Who gets the brand deals? Who do people want to follow and emulate? It's person B every single time, even though person A is objectively in a much better financial position. This creates a completely warped view of what financial success actually looks like. And if you're trying to figure out your financial life, a good rule to follow is that the models you're seeing online are usually the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Trick number 4. The comparison trap is rigged. The fourth thing you need to understand is that the comparison game you're playing is fundamentally rigged from the start. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel, and you're doing it across completely different life circumstances that you can't even see. When you see someone your age buying a house, your immediate thought is probably, why don't I have that? But here's what you don't know. Maybe their parents gave them the entire down payment. Maybe they live in a low cost of living area where houses cost a third of what they cost in your city. Maybe they bought in 2019 before prices skyrocketed. Maybe they're house poor now and literally can't afford to furnish the place or go out to dinner. You're taking your full story, all your student loans, your rent, your actual daily struggles, and comparing it to their 30-second victory post. It's not a fair comparison. It's not even a real comparison. This happens with careers too. Someone posts on LinkedIn about their promotion to VP of Marketing. Sounds impressive, but what does that actually mean? At a startup, VP might mean you're the third employee and you're doing everything yourself. At a large corporation, VP might mean you manage 50 people and have been there for 15 years. Job titles are basically meaningless without context, but we compare them anyway. Or here's another one. You see a freelancer or entrepreneur post about making $10,000 in a month. That sounds amazing. What they don't mention is that was their best month in the entire year. They usually make $3,000. They have no health insurance, no retirement savings, no paid time off. And they have no idea where next month's income is coming from. You're comparing your stable $4,000 a month salary with benefits to their one-time spike and feeling like you're losing. But if you looked at the full picture over a year, you might actually be in a much better position. The point is this: you never have the full context. You never see the whole story. And the algorithm makes absolutely sure of that because mystery and aspiration keep you engaged. And that brings us to the remedy, or how to opt out of the comparison game. So what do you actually do about all of this? How do you protect yourself when the entire system is designed to make you feel inadequate? First, curate your feed ruthlessly. If an account makes you feel bad, unfollow it. Friend, celebrity, influencer, doesn't matter. You can mute people if you're worried about awkwardness, but clean up what you're consuming. Replace those accounts with educational content or things that genuinely make you happy. Second, change your metrics. Stop measuring yourself by other people's milestones and track your own progress instead. Are you saving more than last year? Learning new skills? Celebrate the small wins. Paid off a credit card, built a $1,000 emergency fund, turned down an unnecessary purchase. These are real victories, even if nobody sees them. Third, reality check everything. When something triggers that I'm falling behind feeling, ask yourself, what am I not seeing? Assume there's debt, family help, or context you don't have, because there almost always is. Fourth, define success for yourself. Maybe it's having savings that make you feel secure, or flexibility in your schedule, or being debt-free. Whatever it is, make sure it's your definition, not one you absorbed from scrolling. And fifth, limit your exposure. Set time limits. Notice how you feel before scrolling versus after. If you consistently feel worse, that's your answer right there. Because the truly rich aren't posting about it. They're not flexing on Instagram. They're building wealth quietly, living below their means, and focusing on things that actually matter to them. The most financially secure people are usually the most boring on social media. And if this idea resonates with you, that maybe the flashy life isn't the good life, then you need to watch this video next. Because I break down exactly why a simple, quiet, unglamorous life might actually be the smartest financial decision you can make.